Hey y'all, hey. What's up? So I was just sitting here listening to music. I'm listening right now to Lover in You by Shalimar. I love this song. It's so cute. It's so cute. But as many of you know, today is June 13th. And it's the 1 year anniversary of my husband's passing. And so today he's definitely been on my mind real heavy. But I also lost my first cousin yesterday. And it kind of sparked so many different thought processes as well. And the biggest one, well, let me say this first. And just anybody who've ever dealt with having to arrange a funeral, there's so many little parts. Like when the death first happens, you really don't even have time to process it before you have to start making decisions. Now, mind you, I'm the type, if I'm, if there's to be no changing in my mind about something, I don't even ask questions because you're not going to change my mind. You know what I'm going to go with, I'm going to definitely go with. Now, if I don't care, I might ask, hey, what you think about this? Or do you want this? Because I don't care. I don't care either way. So I'm not going to, but something that is like just totally not up for discussion for me, it's just not up for discussion. So, anyway, and just so in helping my aunt Pina, it made me just think about just like myself, which I think anytime anything happens in life, I think that you should be mindful of why it's happening, when it's happening, who's involved in what's happening, and you need to not leave any situation with the same mindset that you came in with it. So definitely you should have learned a lesson, right? So, as I'm helping my aunt, my sisters, my mom, and I was just like, bitch, you got to get your shit in order. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything just needs to be on a piece of paper. These are the banking accounts I have. This is my life insurance. These are other policies I may have. This is my TSP. This is my pension. Whatever. These are the 401ks. It just needs to be written down somewhere. No matter what amount of money you make in life, that will help alleviate a lot of detective work in your passing. So I was just like, okay, I'm definitely gonna focus on just having a handbook. And people don't like to talk about death, which I'm like, it's two things guaranteed: life and death. They are guarantees. You're gonna encounter both, no matter how long, how short it may be. Um, and it reminded me of the time I worked in hospice, right? So I was working actually inpatient hospice. So that's basically like for patients who have about a couple of weeks left to live. Like I think it's 6 weeks or something, or maybe 6 weeks or 6 months. It's six something, either 6 weeks or 6 months to live at inpatient hospice. And so I was a nurse, and I used to go in, and I loved that job. I'm gonna tell you why I love that job. I love that job because the people had a different appreciation for someone helping them. Like I've worked on med-surg floors, telemetry floors, surgery, clinics, jail, schools. I mean, I've done a lot of different specialties within nursing. And the only one I ever felt like the patient actually appreciated, and not just I'm not gonna say one, but the general population of patients appreciated was hospice. I mean, it could be anything that you do for most of those patients. They were so appreciative of it. And I was just like, wow. Like, wow. That's crazy that most people, and please, when I say most, that mean not every single person. So if you like that, congratulations. I ain't talking about you. But as a general population, most people don't show appreciation and gratitude into their face in death. Because so many of the others, they so entitled. I mean, so entitled to every single thing, even including just like your personal information. Like, you can go in the patient room, introduce yourself to them, whatever the case may be, and they'll be like, "Oh, so where you from? Are you visiting me? Why? Why do you, why do you need to know where I'm from?" You know what I'm saying? And I know it's just casual conversation or just like human nature, whatever. But sir, this is a job. Okay? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? This is not a personal visit. Anyway. But when I say entitled, I'm gonna tell you about this one. I'm gonna go back to hospice, right? So I was working at this one hospital and I had a patient, and the patient, they had a lot of equipment in their rooms. And so you have like the regular outlets, then you have like the red outlets, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I had one of the patients machines hooked up to the outlet. And I specifically told this patient, because they was trying to plug and unplug their charger and all the time to charge their phone. Okay, you can use such and such charger, just don't unplug this charger. This motherfucker unplugs the charger. And I'm like, that phone was more important than your life, possibly. Because if I was a bad nurse, I wouldn't even respond to the alarm. Because, you know what I'm saying? I would have ignored it. And it's simply because you unplugged a piece of equipment that was helping to maintain the homeostasis of your body to plug in your phone charger. Okay. That's when I started getting burned out on the floor. So, back to the hospice. I had this one patient in hospice, right? And this guy, he had been there for a while when I started. And he used to be very cantankerous. To just majority of the state, he just was mean. He'd just be mean and be petty, just always causing a problem. You know what I'm saying? He could see you like talking to another patient or something, and he just felt the need, like he had the right to interrupt that conversation as if he meant more than that patient you was actually talking to. Like it wouldn't be no emergency. Oh, I want some grape juice. I'm giving this patient medicine. What the? Can you not wait? That's not, so he was just that type. And I'm drinking my coconut water and pineapple juice with just a pineapple in there. So anyway, he was just, like I said, just a very needy, cantankerous patient. And so one day I was coming into work and I was a few minutes late, and he was at the door. He looked at me. He's like, I sure didn't expect to see you today. I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, I really didn't expect to see you here either, because shit, your 6 months about expired 2 days ago. Like, baby, you the one in hospice, not me. The expectation of one of us not seeing each other. You know what I'm saying? Well, 100%, because I damn. Either he wasn't going to see me or I wasn't going to see him. But, so he just started laughing. And ever since that day, he just was the sweetest man to me. I mean, he softened with the other nurses and healthcare staff, but he just, I guess, just fell in love with me. He just was like, you know what I'm saying? I guess and when I got to talking to him, actually, this is what he told me. He said, he just got tired of people treating him like he was dying. Always mincing their words or almost babying him. I took it as a lesson in my healthcare career after that. Yeah. So, anyway, I had put up a post in honor of my husband on my Facebook page, right? And it mentioned Belize. So after my husband passed away, a couple of weeks later, I went to work about maybe 9 days later or so. You know, I came home. I was working as a travel nurse in Arizona when he passed away. And so I came home, you know, situated everything, had the funeral. I think I went back to work 2 days after the funeral. I just didn't want to be at home. Like, what am I be doing there? You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be at home. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna go make some money, right? And I'm the type, like, when I'm going through something, I don't want nobody around me. I don't leave me alone, give me my peace. You know what I'm saying? Let me figure this out in my head. Because I firmly believe that in every um, encounter, every emotion, every anything, it rewires your brain. It rewires the nerves in your brain. And they get to intertwining and different things like that. And so I have become more self conscious of what I allow to bother me, what I indulge in, who I interact with, all those things. Because I don't want my mind doing too much. I don't want too many things going on. I just want to live an easy, breezy, simple life by my own terms. You know what I mean? When I say I love how my nail tech did my nails, that girl did my nails today. She did a really good job. At first, I was a little nervous though, cause it was looking a little iffy. But she did that. Um. So yeah. So I'm just very mindful of my interactions, the energy that I'm putting out there, because I do believe in energy. I believe in things always moving, always evolving. Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, after he passed, I went to Brazil. Not Brazil. I wish I was in Brazil. Shit. Belize. I want to go to Brazil. Never been. I want to go to Cuba. Brazil would be a great place to go. I want to experience Bali. Um, I got a few places I want to go to. But y'all know I got fired the other day. That's why I've been doing these damn videos. So anyway, when I went to Belize a couple of weeks after my husband passed, my brother went with me, one of my best friends. I call her best friend number two. Best friend number two went. My one of my favorites, I know that's not a word, but one of my most favorite cousins, Run, he was supposed to go, right? Anyway, so I went to Belize. And I was having a nice time. But you know, my husband had just passed. So I definitely was in reflection mode, and I was grieving. I was like, what's that word? I was grieving. I was crying every day. I mean, crying like, I was crying every day. And I couldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't understand it because we had just got married that October prior. And so we was in Belize, but I was enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't stay cooped up in a hotel or anything, and I just enjoyed myself, you know. And one night, so let me go to my brother and my best friend number two. They just habitually late. Like, just don't even have an expectation of them doing anything, in my opinion, in a timely manner. So I'm I'm the just like, hey, if we say 7 o'clock time, nigga, you got to 7:10, 7:15 to get here. Otherwise, I'm moving on with whatever the plan is. If we was going to have dinner, I'm about to order. You want to wait? No, I don't. And when they get there, If I decide to stay, I stay. If I don't, when I'm done eating, I'm gone. Because we said 7 o'clock. Okay. So, um, so this one night we had decided we was gonna go, and we was on the island of Key Calker. It was so cute. So it felt like you were just at home because I mean, it's such a small island. You woke up with the workers, everything, you know. But it was lobster fest, so it was a lot of people there. So anyway, we was supposed to be going out to this bar, so we said 7 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get them about 7:10 and come pick me up because they had been in the golf cart because they was a little further out on the island than I was. I was on the main strip, and so they didn't make it. So I just went on down to the bar. Now, mind you, I was looking really cute. I had this little really cute green dress on. It was real flowy. It looked gorgeous on my skin, right? And I don't even know how my hair was, but I was looking cute. Like I definitely would have said hey to me. And so I get to the bar and the waitress like one. I'm like, yep. So she sits me down at a table. So I'm probably at the table I was at the table long enough to order a drink. So maybe about 5-7 minutes or whatever. And the waitress comes over to me and she says, hey, that guy sitting over there would like to know if you would join him for dinner. And so, of course, I look over and I was like, sure, why not? Fuck it. Like, I'm not doing nothing else. And that's not unusual for me to interact with strangers. And so I was like, yeah, sure. Like, okay. So I get my drink and I head over to the table and the guy introduced himself to me. I don't know what his name was. To this day, I don't know what his name was. So, you know, he stands up, introduced himself to me, you know, allowed me to sit down and asked me did I want anything to eat or whatever. So I think we ordered wings or something. I don't know. And then we just got to talking, right? And I remember him telling me he was a bank investor. He was originally from New York, some part of New York. And he was currently living in Tulum, Mexico, because he worked remotely. And he told me about his family, and he had kids, and although he was originally from New York, he had roots in Louisiana. Whew. Oh my God. So, so, mm, 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 mm. Whew. So, we just was talking. I was telling him about me, where I was from. You know, I told him I had a child. I told him I had just lost my husband because he had asked me why I was there and stuff like that. And so we just talked. And we got on my wedding. And I was just like, oh my God, it was just gorgeous because, you know, it wasn't your traditional wedding. Shout out to Dion Whittington Events. And I was like, I want to show him some pictures. And so I get to my phone, and so I'm showing him pictures of the wedding. He can see, like, the decor, right? And I was like, oh, well, let me show you my husband. Mind you, I have thousands of pictures of Jerome in my phone. So I'm scrolling through the phone to show him a picture of Jerome, and I literally could not show him a picture of Jerome. I could not find one single picture of Jerome in my phone. None. I was like, that's so weird, but I wasn't gonna harp on it. We moved past it. And we continued talking. Mind you, now my brother and my best friend number 2 was supposed to have been at the restaurant at 7. We were supposed to be at the bar at 7 o'clock. They still ain't made it. So this guy and I, we just talk. All of a sudden, out my peripheral vision, I saw my brother standing there. And I looked at my brother and I looked at the time and it was like 11:30. This guy and I had been sitting there 4.5 hours almost talking. Well over 4 hours. And I'm like, what happened to the time? Like, it felt like, I don't even know. Like, it just was so easy. It was so easy, the conversation and our thoughts, and it was crazy. So my brother sits, so the guy stands up, he introduced himself to my brother and offered them to sit down. Hey, offered them, hey, you guys want something to drink? So, we ate. So we all was sitting there and we were all talking. We ate and we drank. And he was like, hey, so, he had been on the island for a little while. And he was like, a friend of mine has a bar. Would you guys like to come? And so we was like, yeah, sure. We weren't doing nothing else. And so we walked down to his friend's bar. It's like an after hours thing or whatever, off the strip in Kikoker. And the friend, like, pouring drinks, you know what I'm saying? And music's playing. We're just all having a good time. And I remember Betty Wright's After the Pain song came on. And I literally serenaded this man. I mean, I felt like it was, the energy between him and I was like cosmic. I mean, it just was magical. I don't believe anybody could walk into the room and not become drawn to us, because the chemistry and the energy was so overwhelmingly present. And I had a good time. I had a good time with that man. So the friend was closing the bar. And the guy was like, so you guys, so of course he gets up to me. He's like, so do you want me to walk you to your room? I'm like, hell no. I'll be ready to fuck the shit out your ass. No. No, I ain't supposed to set myself up for that. Like, hell no, right? And so I was like, no, thanks, I'm good. He was like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. So my brother and my best friend number 2, they drove me back to my room. No, let me go back. Oh my God, let me go back. So throughout the night while we was at the After Hours Club, we was, he asked me for my number. This was before he closed. He asked me for my number. This is as we was wrapping up. And he got his phone out. And I was putting my number in his phone. And I literally was pressing every fucking wrong number. I thought I was pressing my number. Like, I was putting in boom, 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 boom. But what would appear on the phone was something totally different. And I could see that what I was putting on the phone wasn't apparent on the phone. I just said, fuck it. I couldn't figure it out. So I was like, fuck it, shit, it is what it is, whatever. And so then, he asked if I come to the room. I'm like, no, I wasn't ready for no shit like that. Like, I wouldn't dare. I didn't want to, So I was like, no. And the next day I was leaving. And so we had said we was going to meet for breakfast or whatever. But I got up really early, ended up leaving the island. And I never saw this man again. I could see this man's face. I can feel his aura to this day. And as I reflected on it, I believe that was Jerome letting me know he was okay. I felt like that was him letting me know it was okay to continue living my life. Because the things that were happening I hadn't ever felt it before, feeling it with Jerome. I hadn't ever felt it before. The ease of the connection, the conversations, the attraction. I had never felt it that strong before. And the things that this man discussed with me were some things that only Jerome and I have ever discussed with each other. Some of the things that he would say, I'm like, huh? Like, I had ever only discussed this with Jerome. And in the moment, I definitely didn't dwell on it. I just experienced it. I just experienced it. And you would think this story is a fucking... you would think that this story is just like just a little story, but it happened. I had witnesses. My brother, my best friend number 2. When I left, I didn't ever wonder if I would. I didn't ever wonder if the man was gonna call. I didn't care if he called or not. That was the perfect fucking night. That was the perfect fucking night. Everything that happened that night was supposed to happen that night. I did not cry in hysteria. Hysteria? I never was hysterical after that. Like the tears didn't flow as hard. I was at peace with his passing, you know? I was at peace with it. And I was at peace with it because I felt like I felt like he was letting me know he was okay. He was good. You know, we are, well, not we, but we were big believers of transition. You know, I don't believe that in death you just die. I do believe that your energy and your spirit definitely transcends in other areas of life. And I think that he used a lot of his energy that night to come visit me. I truly do. And I appreciate it because I'm going to tell you this. Weeks before I went to Belize, I had made it back to Arizona from Mississippi. I had made it back. And I was lying in the bed one night. And the door was open. And this man walked in. And I was like, not right now. I knew it was him. I was like, not right now. I'm not ready. I could see his figure. He had a very distinctive shape. I could see his figure. And I said, I'm not ready. Not tonight. He said, okay, and walked out the door. Then, like I said, maybe a week, 2 weeks later, I was in Belize having this experience I previously discussed. After that trip, my life has changed so much. Bye, y'all.